Hey guys, so this video is for you to go from completely overwhelmed to organized. And it's totally normal to be overwhelmed. Everybody goes through it. The best have a process to take that overwhelm and make it productive. And that's what I'm going to show you today. Use this when you're breaking. I just want you to understand people don't break, systems do. And so when you feel like you're breaking, I want you to look at the systems that you're using and change them. And so today, we're just going to go through that. In your head, there are probably a billion things to do. And prioritizing each one, switching back and forth frantically to make sure all of them get done is not the best way to continuously, consciously, happily move towards your goal and keep succeeding. And so what I use, and a lot of people that we work with and mentors that I've had in the past use, is something called the Eisenhower decision matrix. And what you want to do is take every single thing that you have to do and write it all down in a big list. And then you want to sort it out by the following. Is it important and urgent? Is it not important and urgent? Is it important and not urgent? Or is it not important and not urgent? Okay? And you want to identify these things and just take everything you have and put it in a list and prioritize them accordingly. So where you really, really want to live long-term to make, a successful life where you're investing all your efforts into really long-term gains is this important and not urgent category. More on that later. For now, just go ahead and do this. And as always, ask questions in the comments if you're not sure what's going on. So once you have that list of everything that you have to do and you've written it all down, you started sorting in these 4 categories, you're going to decide, hey, am I going to do this now? Am I going to delegate it? Am I going to schedule some time to do it? So do now, do later, delegate and delete. This is the priority in which you want to get these things done. Things that have to get done now, do now. The things that can get done later, but are still important, do later. Delegate them and then delete whatever is not important, not urgent. Your life is too short to be spending time there. And over time, you actually want to do a couple things with these things. You want less things in the do now category because you can only do so much now, and a majority of your anxiety and fragility really comes from this list being too long. So prioritizing and being ready for things ahead of time will lessen this. And then you want to make sure you're scheduling the things that you got to do later. This doesn't mean like the exact day and time, but like have some process to backlog it and be able to put in a sprint or however you do your productivity on a weekly, monthly basis. I like RICE prioritization scoring. That works really well too. Just go ahead and put that there. The do later or the delegate section, who can do it for you? Make sure you have a team. Make sure you're building up a team that can do this. In the beginning, you probably won't have it. So you're probably gonna have to delegate it to yourself, which is similar to do later. But over time, we want to get this off your plate and get really good at eradicating these things. Every single category has things that you can delete. Most of the things that you think you have to do, especially when you're in an early stage startup, you don't actually have to do. Like, you really just need to be talking to your customers and making sure they have a really big pain point, collecting money from them and solving that problem. Everything else is, it's nice, but you don't actually have to have it. I mean, obviously pay your taxes, do your bookkeeping, be organized, but outside of that, like, don't overcomplicate this. So the best in the world will go through that process and they'll take everything they have to do, they'll reprioritize it. They'll do this probably on a monthly, quarterly basis at least. They'll start scheduling things and they'll know exactly what to do now, what to delegate, what to delete. And that itself will lessen the cognitive load that you have. And a lot of times people burn out, or they're feeling tired or weary, or start hating work because they're keeping everything in their heads, and your head only has a finite capacity no matter how smart you are. Even people with 190 IQ, 160 IQ, really, really high IQs, they eventually burn out and end up living in the middle of nowhere away from everybody because they don't want to feel used. What's actually happening is they're not applying prioritization, or they realize most of what they do is useless. They just want to delete all of it. So use this process to help yourself, because you deserve it, do better. What I like to do is I create this little Trello board. You can just go to Trello.com and create one. And what you want to do is you want to have a do now category, a do later category, a delegate category, and a delete category. So you want to put all those tasks that you have. If you did it on a piece of paper, just put them all in here, and then make it fun. Okay, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do this later. I can delete this guy. And then when things get done, go ahead and put in the done category. And this creates a little game for your productivity. So that way you can, one, see how much you've done over the course of a year. And it's like thousands of tasks. It's thousands of things that you're doing. But again, your brain can only hold so much. So you might feel like at times, especially when, your mood swings a little down, which is okay, that you're not really getting enough done. You're not doing enough with your life. Like you're wasting your time. But in reality, you're not. You're getting a lot done. And building a business is a compound game. A lot of little tiny blocks add up to massive gains in the end. And the weeks where you feel like you're getting a lot done, a lot of the work has gotten done in the past to get you ready to take things over the edge. So keep an eye on this. Now, the delegation piece can get tricky. So I create another card here called audit. And so whenever someone's done on my team with something, I want them to send it to me in this little card here and tag me, and then I can go see if their quality is good enough. And I'm only going to call myself good at delegating a certain task or a certain category of tasks when I'm auditing things and consistently my team is able to get things done. It's my responsibility to get them to understand how to do things properly and up to a certain standard. And then once it's there and you stretch them enough and they're used to being at that level, then you can start, handing these things off to them and, expecting them to get done. I still recommend doing spot check audits here and there to figure out like a good statistically significant sample. I wish I could say that word well, but I can't, or phrase well, but I can't. And that'll, make sure that the standards of your company stay high, even when you start taking a step back. So anyways, back to it. If you are super, super, super overwhelmed, list out all your tasks here and then play the game. You're going to do it now. You're going to do it later. You're going to delegate. You're going to delete. Anything that stays too long in the do now, do later, delegate category, you might have to delete it or reprioritize. That's something that's going to keep coming up. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. And I hope this helps you. I hope you're able to take your overwhelm and turn it into organization and productivity. And once you start implementing processes like these, life gets a lot easier, a lot more fun, which is really what I want for you. So hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great week, and good luck. Cheers.